main line to which the fishermen attach hooks. The main line is attached to a hydraulic spool and is set out at the stern of the boat. A float is attached at the beginning of the line so that it can be found later. The long line is anchored to the ocean floor by attaching weights to the line after the first float. This is known as a bottom long line set. Long line sets without anchoring weights are known as surface or float sets since the main line stays near the top of the water column. This allows the line to stay free floating near the surface, targeting pelagic and surface schooling sharks. As the main line goes into the water, beta ganglions are attached. Ganglions consist of a hook, monofilament line, and a clip. Most long line sets are 7 to 10 miles long and consist of 600 to 800 hooks. Once the appropriate number of ganglions are attached, a weight, if needed, and a float are attached and the main line is cut free from the hydraulic spool. The line is then allowed to soak, usually overnight when sharks are most actively feeding. After the line has soaked, the main line is retrieved at one of the floats and reattached to the hydraulic spool. The spool is then used to haul back the main line and the gear attached to it. As the ganglions return to the boat, they are removed from the main line and stored. When a shark is caught, it is usually brought aboard, fined and carcassed for sale. The commercial market for shark is driven by the Asian demand for shark fin soup. Fishermen can get up to $30 a pound for the fins, but only around 30 cents a pound for the meat. Once the entire main line has been regained, the fisherman will go to another location and set the gear again or head back to the dock, usually depending on the number of sharks caught. Long line shark fishing trips generally last 3 to 6 days. Float set. Photo copyright Florida Museum of Natural History. Float set. Photo copyright Florida Museum of Natural History. Drift gill netting creates a wall of netting in the water column to catch fish. These nets generally are 800 to 1,000 fathoms in length and are stored aboard the gillnet vessel on a large hydraulic net reel. Nets are set in the evening and sets begin by tossing a radar reflector buoy, which is attached to the net by several fathoms of rope, overboard at the stern of the boat. The boat is then driven forward slowly, allowing the net to be deployed into the water. How fast the net is set out is controlled by the speed of the boat and hydraulic reel braking. As the net enters the water, it straightens itself out due to the lead and float lines. The lead line is a weighted line that makes up the bottom edge of the net. The float line is a non-weighted line, allowing it to remain higher in the water column than the lead line, creating the upper edge of the net. Buoy lines are clipped to the float line about every 60 feet. They are attached to floats and allow the net to remain at a certain depth in the water column. These lines range between 18 and 24 feet in length. This allows other vessels to pass over the gill net without becoming entangled. The hanging line, where the mesh of the gill net